not worth the hype. What hype? The hype not I give one, you know.
Yeah, nobody hype it.
Yes.
Nobody hype it.
Why? I don't wake up in the morning and say, today I'm going to make you a bad cup of coffee. I want to ruin your day. Don't, like, it's a little bit unfair to struggling businesses to be so quickly to critique. You don't like it, doesn't mean he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
I never force you to come here. I have my store, I wait here. You choose to come and join my queue, right?
Oh my God, I also feel that about...
I'll pay sometimes.
Because people sometimes like, they very preachy or they keep saying things I disagree. Then nobody asks you to see what.
Yeah, there are plenty other comics and other podcasts you can listen to.
Yeah, go see all these things. I think people need to understand like how free market works.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the Woke Salaryman podcast. Today's guest is quite special because it's the first time we're doing an outside podcasting. I'm actually damn nervous technically. First time. I'm so nervous. I scared this one don't record, that one don't record, whatever, you know. So maybe I introduce a bit about Faye first, right? I think Faye, she is a young hawker.
Young-ish.
Young local hawker. She's Singaporean and she runs together with two of her other siblings, Coffee Break, which has a branch now here in Amoy. And where are the other two branches?
Hong Lim Food Center and Market Street Food Center.
I think it's very interesting because you don't often see local Singaporeans who are young run hawker stores or choose to run hawker store. Maybe I'm wrong there, you know. So feel free to correct that sentence.
Yeah,
so,
you're wrong.
I'm wrong, Okay, let's just get into it. Like, what is the reality? Like, how common is it that young Singaporeans do this?
I think maybe because I'm young-ish.
Young lah, just say young lah. It's okay.
Yeah, so I'm young. So I actually get to know a lot of fellow young hawkers who mostly actually 70% start out as fresh, brand new hawkers. This is like the first time they are ever doing it. Then there are also some who take over, but very rare few who take over from their parents or grandparents.
And in this case, just to introduce to audiences who don't know, this is a family
This is a family-run business. So my siblings and I, we are third generation. And then before that, my father, second generation. Then of course, his father, my grandfather, first generation. And from China lah, Hainan Island.
Yes, of course. We also know.
You also Hainan, but you also don't speak, right?
No, I don't speak.
I also don't speak. I only know how to scope people.
It's so niche, right?
Yeah, it's very niche. Yeah. So yes. So that's how this business was passed down to us.
So before this, what did you do? Like, what do you study and like, what do you do something before this?
Yes, I was a full-time athlete. At the same time, I was working for the Volleyball Association of Singapore. So I used to play beach volleyball for Singapore.
Wow, Team Singapore lah.
Team Singapore.
Top level lah.
Like, yeah, no one better than
me,
my partner and I. Then lah, yeah.
Right.
So then, of course, I was doing sports events and marketing for the association then. So those were the times that I was fresh out of university.
Right.
Then after that, I actually was a full-time barista for about 2 years before I finally settled down here.
And what did you study before that?
My degree is in business management with a major in marketing.
And was that done to help the business?
Yes, that course was chosen specifically to help the business.
You choose or the family choose?
No, I choose.
You choose lah?
I choose. Before that, I thought I wanted to do mass comm.
Yes. We both mass comm one.
Yeah. My brother was from mass comm MP.
Oh my God, we also mass comm MP.
Also
Maybe I think you are younger.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I thought that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to follow him because quite outspoken.
Yes.
And all that. So then, because my A-levels was not great, so I took 1 year off and I did a part-time diploma at night. And I thought I would really like mass comm. So then I realized I actually hated it.
Why?
Yes. Maybe I wasn't as good at it as I thought I would be.
Right.
But during the night, I would study. In the day, I'll come here to work to supplement, my pocket money. And that was when I decided, can pay bills.
I see.
Can maybe start a family. My dad put us through university with my mom lah. She's a civil servant.
Yep.
So why not,
I see.
there.
So your mom doesn't do the business lah.
No, she's not a fan.
Oh,
She's a civil servant.
she's not a fan of the work lah. Like
She's not a fan of
stand.
the stand long hours,
Yeah, it's actually quite brutal.
meager, then
Right.
and all her kids went through university so she
Right.
was like, huh.
Oh, because when you said like because you said like you chose the marketing degree to help this.
Yes.
I was thinking, what is it like 6 years old? They like your mission in life is now.
No
lah,
lah.
No lah, right? It's like
No
afterwards,
lah.
hey, maybe pa, I want to do this lah. Is it?
Yeah, it was really just maybe after that is a possible career law. Not
Right.
career, like possible profession to
Yes.
like everybody else law. I want to be
Yeah.
a doctor, I want to be a banker,
Yeah.
I want to be in the office. I'll just work and be able to supplement my life law.
Mm.
Yeah, that was just at the start. It was just that.
So in the theme of like family businesses, what was that like growing up? Was there any talk of this? How was it discussed in the family? Because your brother did this first, right? Your
Yes.
brother was the first to actually take over.
Yes. No leh, we in the family, at least at home, we never like. My dad was never like.
Pressure lah.
Yeah, there was no talk of when my dad will actually ever retire.
Then what would happen then? Like the store would just close.
It would have
is
just
it?
it would have closed down, been lost. We
Oh.
would have been in cushy office jobs, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
I see. But then, for your brother, because he was the first, when was the first inkling that he had? Because he studied mass comm, like,
Yeah.
so
And political science in
and
SMU
political
after that.
science. Wow. So
Yeah.
how did he? Do you know like how he even want to do this?
He actually applied to be a teacher with NIE, and I think in the first 3 months you're supposed to serve with a school, and I think that was when he kind of decided he had it because I think the kids were a
Too
terror.
hardcore, yeah.
Besides that, he wanted to do something where he could make an impact directly.
Right.
So running his own business was the
Right.
most obvious choice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, teaching confirm don't have because you're entrenched in so much hierarchy. Right?
Correct,
Like,
correct. It's the hierarchy
It's a
and
machine.
the red tape that he just.
Yeah.
At least as a public sector teacher lah.
Correct,
You have to wait
exactly.
a couple of years, then you go out, then you be your own private tutor.
And then you can build your own model.
Yeah, but then that will take a while also.
Yeah, and not everybody would become private tutor.
That's right.
And I think he just didn't see a future in it, lor.
I see.
And I think he just wanted to decide and then see it happen.
Right.
So that was when he decided.
So for yourself, you've been helping out in the store since you were 13 years old.
yes.
And then after you graduated, you thought you could do it full time.
Yes.
But then was your brother already doing it full time or?
No. He joined maybe half a year earlier only. Yeah.
Okay.
And
But previously, was your dad doing this alone, or were there like did he hire people, or is just you all doing also?
he only ever had my aunt as his part-time help.
Assistant lah.
Yeah, and you know, like, I don't think they got along very well either.
Yeah, I
no,
imagine.
no.
Yeah.
My dad is a terror. His
Is it?
temper is.
Is he very particular about the coffee?
He
Because
is.
it's like his craft, is
Yes,
it?
he's very particular about how it's made and then how you serve it,
Right.
and then he prided service over the product quality.
Service.
Service.
So regular customer then probably is a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
The relationship that you have
Yes.
to build and maintain, right?
Yes, that was
Right.
something that we took a while to master actually, because I
Master?
think when we first took over, a lot of people, if they don't see my dad, they wouldn't come.
Or you see them linger there, oh, he's not here, then they walk off.
exactly that kind of body language. Yeah.
I've-
你爸爸嘞?
Yeah.
我
There's,
不在, okay.
like they mentioned in video, I think in the beginning, like one of the customers say like the coffee they
Was
did, they
really
did, they
very
did not
bad,
like.
yeah.
But then because of the debt, they stayed on to
Yeah.
to trust in the process.
Yeah.
Wait, so when
guess.
you're, like your brother first, then you, then your sister, like when y'all
Yes.
came on, was there like a trial? Like he tastes and like, oh, it's not quite there, you cannot earn the right to take over here. Like, what's the overlapping process like? Because he's not here now, right?
You cannot earn the right to make coffee, but you can still handle cashiering or making
Oh, I
toast.
see.
So what's
Yeah.
like the value chain? So the like the
You
most
think Kung Fu?
the most not capable person at that time, like
No.
so they'll do cashiering first.
Yeah,
then after
everyone
you
starts,
move up. Is it?
Yeah, you start as a cashier,
Yeah.
then you move up to do toast. Then of course eventually you learn to brew the coffee, which is like making the big batches. Then you will be what we say tao chiu lah, or in Angmo terms, head barista. So which is the person really making your kopi C, chiu dai.
The final mix, is
Yes,
it?
the final
The
cup
head chef
of-
that puts it all together.
Correct.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
the one who decides this is good to go.
So
Yeah.
at what stage would he keep? Like, don't let y'all pass until y'all can get the flavor right.
In the
Was there
beginning,
such
we
a
were
thing?
all only allowed to just
Cashier.
observe.
Oh.
And by the time we observed, we were actually supposed to know how to make when we were told to make it.
Right.
like 你先看我做，你看了你会了，then 你就自然而然会泡了。
Oh, so it's like it's not a science, it's more of an art, is it?
Yes, it's more art than it is.
It's like alchemy,
science.
not chemistry. Like
It's
go by feel one, is
It
it?
starts off as chemistry. I can tell you, a kopi C siew dai is how much milk, how much sugar, how much coffee, how much water.
Yeah.
But the art is in knowing your kopi C siew dai and his kopi C siew dai is how.
So this
wow.
is regular customer.
Based on regular
Correct.
customers. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you
Based on an
serious?
understanding of, say, even tourists
Yeah.
or like
Oh, so
Yeah,
you
expats.
profile, you see,
Yes.
okay, this kind probably like it sweeter.
yeah,
Bam.
correct.
It's like
correct.
CRM, like customer relationship management.
It is
Wow.
very much. And which is the reason why when my dad wasn't around, a lot of customers were like, I don't think they know how
Yes.
to make my kopi C
So they have to get to know
siew
me
dai.
and my taste.
Correct.
And how long did like the whole like process take for the handover?
I think we took about 1 to 2 years before we were like, okay, we got this. We have our own steady stream of regulars.
You all say one or he say one? He also
we
sign
say
off
one
lah.
No lah, he like, y'all can do it lah. Because after a while,
Yeah.
he know what we are capable of.
Right.
Then he, of course, he always come down and test our coffee lah. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes like, 我也给我一杯咖啡, and then you make sure you make
Then
it.
do you all like, hey, VIP order, this one don't get wrong. You
I
know?
think for now we still do. Even my staff, when they come, when my dad comes down, they
Got
hey, uncle the
trepidation
kopi,
one.
uncle the kopi.
Oh, right.
Got,
Uncle the
got,
copy
got.
lah.
Okay.
Uncle the kopi,
Wow.
对, yeah.
Wow.
So in your head, like how many people do you remember? Like what's your hard disk like in your head of the kind of? Is it like in the hundreds one?
I think
You see face then you
more
know.
than
More than 100.
It's quite easy after once
Is
you.
it really? It's like muscle memory. Is it? It's just in there.
Yeah. Like if you come first day, second day, the third day I remember your order already.
Really?
Yeah, because if you come at a regular time,
Right.
and it's not so much because I'm so good at what I do, but
It's a part of your day. is it?
I enjoy it, and it's something that comes very natural. So
see.
it's not a chore.
I see.
It's more of an enjoyment that, oh yes, I remember your order on the
Right.
third day, and it makes me very happy. It makes the customer very happy.
Right.
So
Wow, that's amazing. I
That's fun.
cannot imagine knowing the specifications to that kind of detail, you know.
I'm sure you're good at your job.
But they'll tell you lah, right? They'll say, hey, today's one a bit too sweet.
Yes,
Then
yes.
you
Huh, really? Yeah.
Correct.
So actually, when I drink kopi,
Yeah, I just
no, I
You don't dare.
I'm sort of just accept it. You know, what I mean, you give me that. Okay. I guess this is the kopi that I'm
yeah,
making.
I know. I'm the same. I'm so like scared of this kind of thing, right? There's I go toast box and then they remember me or they know my order, but I'm afraid to acknowledge it even.
Why?
I don't even go. 哇，你记得我的 order，谢谢你。
Why?
I just shy lah, but they know lah, you know.
I think it's
I'm afraid of human connection.
why.
That's
So the
terrifying.
thing about local kopi
Yes.
is the human connection.
Right. I
That-
never heard that before.
Yeah.
That is, what would you say is 50% at least of the thing?
I think it's like more than 50% leh.
More than 50%.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you think about it, for a cup of kopi, then let's say you say ingredients, right? Like actually, human labor is a big ingredient. It'll be a.
It is.
It'll take up most of the cost.
Correct.
Yep,
Correct.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Correct. It is. I'd say maybe only, I think 60%, 30%,
Yep.
maybe like 10% ingredient cost. The rest of it is mostly
Maybe
labor.
what you're offering is customization.
I
right?
am.
That's why.
I am.
Yeah.
And that's something that we do very well here.
That's amazing.
Which is why the staff, we train very well.
Right, right.
We make sure they know, they enjoy what they're doing.
Mm.
And so that translates into the customer service. And somehow, the customer can taste it lor, in the coffee, in the service. Yeah.
That's amazing to hear that because like I think maybe it's just me like my psychosis because I'm a creative. Then I always think like I used to think like the work is what matters. This is all that matters, the work and the quality of the work. In a way, like transposing it to this, I was thinking like the quality of the coffee is all that matters. But then as I get into the industry, I realize actually the work is at most 50% really.
Correct.
It's everything else, like I say, relationships. So I'm amazed also. Actually not amazed, actually it makes sense also that
It's
coffee
applicable.
is the same thing.
It's crazy that like soft skills work in every industry,
yes,
right?
Yes.
That's what a lot of people don't see hawkers as.
As what, like
As
human
being
connection?
service.
I think
human
often they see
connection.
like hawkers as like being machinery that produce like mass mass
cheap,
market
good
food for
Yes,
for
yes,
cheap.
yes, yeah.
Right.
I think with like franchises, like I say Toastbox, I go Toastbox every morning because
sure,
there's one near
sure.
our office. Like I
That's
think my
fine.
expectation is because it's a franchise thing that people switch around.
Yes.
But actually, like you said three times you know the order already.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't take that long to know that human connection. You know, like
Correct.
I think maybe it's low self-esteem. I always think like I'm not worth remembering. Like of course they won't remember me, but actually they do. You know.
It's okay, it just applies to him only. Just-
Yeah,
I think
like-
don't worry about
So
it.
I think like what I will try to take away is that next time I go Toastbox, I will try to acknowledge that connection and say,
Yes.
你记得我的，谢谢你啊，每次都
Yeah.
我不用讲你就知道是1号 Teh O Peng, you know.
Yeah. And it's also an acknowledgement that they put in that effort, and
Yeah.
it's not easy for the guy to always be there every
That's
day
right,
to
that's
come
right.
to work, turn up
That's
for
right,
work.
that's right.
So on his part, he's also making an effort, and for you to acknowledge the effort, it will mean a lot to him other than the salary the company gives him.
That's right. That's right. I appreciate that you remember me as a part of your working
Correct.
ritual and your working day.
Exactly, it's a job satisfaction.
So it makes you satisfied, lah,
Correct.
right? Wow.
that salary cannot give you.
See, on the note of that, so we talk about labor, we talk about cost, then we're talking about the idea that I just love hearing the idea that you equate quality and the way you train your staff to the idea that you expect them to uphold a certain level of service, right? So when it comes to the labor, is it just you and your siblings or do you hire people, and how does that work?
So the core team is made up of obviously the three of us, and we each have different roles, and then come down to the store
Different
with
bowls
roles,
or roles? Okay.
角色.
Okay, I thought one. Okay, 角色.
Roles.
Roles, yeah.
Then come down to the store, we actually have a manager at each store right now.
It's not your.
It's not us.
What is manager?
So they take care of the operations, and they are usually the 头厨. So you need to rise above. You have to do everything, and then when you are head barista, you will oversee the shop
So
and its
if they are
operations.
if the 头厨 is people that you hire, then what do y'all do like from day to day?
So one of the main roles is to actually come down and QC, drink the coffee
Every day?
Every other day.
Every
So
other
to
day.
spring a surprise,
Wow.
ma.
Oh.
Yeah.
But every other day, then not surprised already. They will know it's 135.
Ish lah.
No,
Every
they don't
other
know
day
when.
ish.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 1, 2, 3, and then
Oh.
4, 5 don't
Oh,
come.
okay. Fair enough. Just keep them on your toes.
Yeah. Any time of the day.
Yeah.
So we do QC at the stalls, make sure the processes and the ops are running smoothly. And then a lot of the work actually back-end work. So our social media, our business development, and our R&D. The
Right.
coffee is easy. Making
Yeah.
the coffee is really the
She
easiest
said
part.
that coffee is, I was like
Mind
relating
blowing.
so hard to it. Because I think that way about my art also. I used to think the drawing is the hard part. That's
Yeah.
the stuff that is no drawing easy.
You control
Client, day-to-day work. that's
client,
the
the
stuff, right?
customers, the staff, the
audience, yeah.
suppliers. Yeah.
On the topic of like labor, do you try to hire local? How does that work?
Hawkers are only allowed to hire Singaporeans or PRs. It's
But then
hawkers.
when I go kopitiam and there's like
Kopitiam is not a. You mean Kopitiam, the food court?
downstairs at my
Oh.
HDB, that's not a hawker, is it?
So right. A bit 黑暗.
Okay.
Grey
a bit
area.
murky
Is that
lah.
grey area? Is that
Right,
what
you're
it
not
means?
quite sure.
Grey area.
Yeah.
It's
What's
a
it
bit
here? And here is
dark.
darkness.
Okay.
Dark side. My
Let us know.
understanding is a lot of the kopitiams are private enterprises.
Yes.
So you have people like Kim San Ling, and then you
Right.
have
Kofu.
Kim
is
San
it?
Ling.
Is that Kim San Ling?
That's hilarious.
Last time got S11.
Okay. There's the blue color and white color stripe one. Look like Barcelona jersey.
No, I don't know.
Okay, never mind. Argentina jersey, y'all don't know?
And there's
Wow.
Kim San Ling.
Yeah,
And it's Kim
that's
San
right.
Ling.
Okay, I get it. So if you're at one of these like big government food centers,
Yes.
you'll be a hawker lah.
Yes, you
So
are
for
a
example, you're
hawker.
Maxwell Food Center, you'll be a hawker.
Yes.
If you're at Old Airport Road, you'll be a hawker.
Correct, under
But then
any
if you're
age.
under HDB flat, it's a private enterprise.
Usually it's a private enterprise. It's
Okay.
owned by a private
See.
owner.
So the quota, there's a quota there lah.
The quota
Like
is
say, 35%.
it's 35% foreigner quota for work permit, I believe.
Correct.
Right.
But then so now we know that if they work here, they are like under a sole proprietor
Correct.
kind of arrangement.
So in hawkers and in kopitiams, usually it's owned by a company that is registered, and usually they would already have staff that may not be on the floor, may not be in the kopitiam, maybe
Yeah.
like admin staff,
Yeah.
and that will make up your quota. So then
Of
they are
local
able
lah,
to, yes,
right.
locals. Then they're able to hire
Oh, I see.
Malaysians. Usually Malaysians have
Yes.
a lower quota to hit before you can hire.
Right,
So
right, right.
Malaysians.
I see.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
usually these enterprises are able to hire and they are allowed. It's legal.
Yeah.
So everybody that we see here are all local.
Local Singaporeans or PRs.
Oh, PR also counts. I see.
Yeah.
Wow, does that make hiring difficult?
Of course.
Like if you want to hire, like the first question, not the first question. Like earlier we talked about when I intro, I also made a mistake, a misunderstanding that
A boo boo.
it's hard to get young local hawkers. So, what's that situation? Like, is it very common? What's the problem there?
You get a lot of young Singaporeans who open hawker stalls, who start out fresh. And the reality is, after a while, they get very, very tired because they have to deal with everything from morning till night, handling work and then supplies, and then a lot of food they have to do food prep.
Yeah, they wake up very early,
Yes.
prep the noodle, all
Correct.
this, right?
Then now with social media, they also have to handle their own social media.
That's right.
So a lot of them need to hire help so that they can ease their workload at the store.
Yeah.
Whether it's cashiering or just simple food prep,
Yep.
taking orders.
Yeah.
But this help can only be Singaporean. lah.
This help can only be Singaporean. And I think if you ask yourself, if there's no prospect of career development or higher salary or
Yeah,
increase in
yeah.
salary, would you put yourself in a hawker center?
Well, I think I would do it as more like a shareholder, right?
Yes,
like on
correct.
shareholder basis, which is
Correct.
probably what you're doing as well.
What do you mean?
Like kind of
You
like
own part of the company.
You own a company instead of being an employee of the company.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm a hawker, I'll do that.
Yeah,
lah.
then it makes I'm
Right.
okay with not having progression. Then
Yes.
there's other things like I think like young people think about like non-aircon job.
Yes,
Or like I'm
correct.
not just standing, I'm standing, walking, lifting things,
Correct.
washing things. Like
Correct.
it's a lot of physical things,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
probably there's a connotation there also. Is there?
Yes. I mean, it's still tagged lah, this preconceived notion that it's just a lot of dirty washing, a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of manual labor.
Right.
And it is true.
It
I
is
agree.
true.
I still do it
Yeah.
when I'm here at the store. But like you said, there are a lot of hawkers opening their own shops.
Yeah.
So they are shareholders
Yeah.
naturally. But they unable to hire because
So they are forced to be solopreneurs lah.
yes.
And I guess it's also very hard to use tech to do the job that hawkers do.
For now, I haven't come
it's
up
hard
with
to
this
get.
idea.
I mean, not now. Like
Yeah.
there's not a robot who come and serve at the kopitiam yet, right? Or there
Yeah, I
isn't.
think don't have
So
I think they probably
guess it's
automate
difficult
things
way.
that they can automate. Like a machine that makes for you, that brew for you, and it
Have
it's
one
good
recently.
enough, right?
Do you see that viral video about the Pongo machine? It's a kopi. He tarik the kopi.
Oh,
they
really?
went and then he
And then he pour on the floor. right?
No, I think he pour on the machine. The rest of the automated system.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So not
Did you
quite there
never
yet.
see?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
see.
You don't dream of labor.
I'll put the
the,
footage there.
the anti-work labor.
Oh yeah, we don't dream of labor. That's right.
Anti-work
that's right.
movement.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He tang ping or he pailan. Shit, that's
Is
that's
that what
rough.
happened? The machine poured coffee on itself.
He poured on his
His
automated
colleagues.
counterparts.
Ah,
no, like
okay.
it's all still machines lah.
Yeah, colleagues lah. Because
Yeah,
they're all
colleagues.
machine, right? That's right.
Yeah, it was quite bad.
So is it? Do you see it changing? Like, is there? How long have you been doing this? Like,
I think we are hoping to set a precedent,
precedent, yeah.
for future, for other hawkers, old or new, and for the authorities to kind of take notice lor. So what we do actually is when we hire, we actually allow for career progression and even profit sharing.
But
What-
how
yeah.
low? Yeah.
What does career progression look like?
What does it look like?
So for same lah, we have management trainees, and then we have if you just want to be forever
Part-timer.
at the store,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I see. They call it individual contributor nowadays. Like,
Oh, is it?
you just
No,
do a very, but in this case, not really.
Technically, IC is let's say you're head barista and you only want to do barista, you don't want to manage people.
Yeah, I don't manage.
That's
Then
the
I
IC
just keep
role.
doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So very specific lor. So we also break down the roles here. If you want to be boss, you just be boss. Point of sale, so our cashier. So you always take order and you make sure you're very good at it lor. If you're not, we'll move you to another role like making coffee. Just keep making coffee lor.
Right.
But of course the disadvantages are heavy lifting,
Yes.
a lot of washing. So for example, I hate washing.
Yeah.
And
Most people do lah.
Yeah, exactly. You would think right, but
Because you're
no
not
leh.
making. Or some people like it.
Some people love it because they face the four walls. They don't need to face
Actually, I'm
customer.
one of these people.
Yeah.
Because my wife cook, then I wash.
Yeah.
And I love, because I get to scrub it clean. There's a
Yes.
satisfaction there.
Correct.
Right.
So
So
some
you
people
can
like
find
that.
these people also.
Yes.
Right.
So then the cashier role, nobody want to do because
Right.
they don't like to front face. They don't like to deal with customers. But I love it because I'm very good at it and I
Right.
enjoy it. So
Right,
then there's people like me. So then of course we'll just segregate them, lor.
Right.
Yeah, and then of course if you want career progression,
Yeah.
like Nikki
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like Shamin, she's done hospitality, so we're actually moving her through the roles and then eventually to manage the franchise arm of our
That's very
business.
cool. But in a
Yes.
way, like you can only start to have these tiers when you scale up a little bit, right? Then you
Correct.
got other branches.
Correct,
Right.
correct. But you also can still only have IC law, individual contributors
Right,
law.
right.
Yeah. Why can't we corporatize something like that? A small hawker store.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, yeah,
It gives them
absolutely.
job security as well. We offer
That's right.
insurance, we offer bonuses, we have performance appraisals every 6 months.
Wow.
For what?
Yeah.
Okay, what's like an appraisal? Okay, let's just pretend I am a cashier now. Then I suck at my job. Then you just tell me like, what's wrong with what I
So
did.
Riming,
Yeah.
so today is your 6-month appraisal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we've gathered feedback from your fellow colleagues as well as some of the customers, and of course we've observed you at your work.
Oh, no.
You know,
Yeah.
obviously you're very good at what you do, but of course there are some improvements here according to our KPIs. So
What-
we have KPIs.
What are the things that I didn't like touch on my KPI?
So accuracy of your cash exchange, because we offer cash and QR code transactions. So there are a lot of discrepancies. So you might want to take note of that. So maybe we can go through your process when you chat with the customer to make sure that you always get it right. Yes, and then of course. Dealing with the customer, so more soft skills. See where we can improve that for you. If you're interested, of course, we can send you for courses. So we've actually sponsor courses like
Wow, that was
Nikki
legit.
and
That was
Yeah,
cool.
that
Yeah,
was
I like that, I
legit.
like that. That was-
Just,
that was
so
straight up.
Nikki and my other guy, my other full-timer, they've been for barista courses, like with the espresso machine,
Right.
just so they can learn the other side of coffee.
That's so
And it's something that we believe in, continue
Okay.
learning so that it applies here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one store name, how many people operate? I'm hearing
It's
like 3 or 4.
Really dependent on
The people lah.
the business there, the traffic.
I see.
Over here is our first store and most popular store.
Yeah.
At any one time, there's 5 people inside the store.
Oh wow.
5. 5 by 5, 5 meter by
It's
5
a
meter.
very small space
Yeah,
for
that's
5.
crazy.
Yes. But we've made it so that we've segregated the roles into a specific space.
Or they got their own area.
Correct. So
Right.
they don't cross each other.
Right.
So it's also about making the work
Optimizing
environment
space, yeah.
work for you. So we're always changing and improving.
Oh, that's so cool. It reminds me of McDonald's. There was a movie, The
Yes,
Founder.
exactly.
Then they draw the blueprint on the floor. Then, okay,
Correct.
you move here, then this goes there.
It is the same.
So you look at the top blueprint, then you think, okay, you move like that.
Correct.
Then,
So that you won't clash into each other and
Right.
then we maximize productivity.
and you're still fine tuning, right?
Correct, we're always
Branch to branch,
fine-tuning.
different layout, then different space, Then maybe the tap is here, then the tap has to be there.
Yes.
So it's problem
can
solving.
can we extend the tap somewhere to provide water
Right.
for
right.
this role? Yeah.
And it's
then
never done one.
It's never done, it's
always
never done.
something to.
a demand might change, we might add a new product. The flow changes as well.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That y'all can do so, like, it's really a lot more than I can imagine. Like, the idea that you have this kind of, the progression thing, I'm just blown away that you try so hard. And it's important to people, no? So you have to, do these things to keep people, right?
I think it is very important to clarify that I'm a young hawker with dreams to expand, to do well. There are hawkers who just really want to do this and retire, and that is absolutely fine.
Yes.
Sometimes they take their time to do like one order. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong.
I think as long as the market supports it, okay.
yeah,
right?
got enough
Correct,
people want to
correct.
pay and wait.
If you want to
Correct.
wait and deal with like a rude auntie, then
Yes, yes.
I mean the food good enough, then okay lah, I'll wait lah.
Yes,
Correct,
yes.
But then if the
exactly.
food is not good and you're also rude, then
Yes.
okay lah.
Yeah lor,
I
I'll
don't
find
need this
someone
one.
else.
It's up to them to choose lah where
Yeah,
they want
yeah.
to zheng the thing.
Correct.
I feel that way sometimes. Like there's a very nice nasi lemak stall near my house, but the queue is so insanely long that I queue until I get upset. But also then I zoom out and think, well, it's their choice. I shouldn't force them to scale
Yes.
just because if I don't want to wait in the hot sun, then I don't wait lor.
Yeah lor.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
sure they know It is
Yes.
up to them to decide whether they want to address a pain point or not. It might cost so much for them to appeal to the authority or the land space to ask their neighbor they can build awning or. So what right do I have?
Yes, this
Right.
is the exact kind of
Balance.
thought process
Ah.
we need more of our customers to have.
Yes,
To be a
yes,
little bit
yes.
more understanding, to
Yeah.
be a little bit more generous in giving bad reviews. Like,
Oh, bad reviews.
yes, like not worth the hype. What hype? The hype
Yes.
not I give one, you know.
Yeah, nobody
Yes,
hype
yes,
it,
yes, yes, yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Nobody
Yeah,
hype it.
why?
Yeah.
I don't wake up in the morning and say, today I'm going to make you a bad cup of coffee. I want to ruin your day.
I mean, you look at Google reviews because my friend runs a F&B establishment.
Right,
Like,
right.
That you disagree a bit, you say no already, then they will give a 1-star review.
Correct, correct. So like, don't like it's a little bit unfair to struggling businesses
Yes, yes, yes.
to be so quickly to critique.
It's
If
not-
you
yeah.
don't like it, doesn't mean he doesn't like it.
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
So like, and you cannot say, oh, the standard drop or like such
Oh.
bad. We don't come here. Like,
I never force you to come here. I have my store, I wait here. You choose to come and join my queue,
Oh
right?
my God, I also feel that about.
I'll pay
I'll pay
sometimes lah,
sometimes
yeah
because
lah.
people sometimes like they very preachy or they keep saying things I disagree. Then nobody asks you to see what.
yeah, there
Yeah,
are plenty
yeah.
other
Yeah.
comics and other podcasts you can listen
Yeah,
to.
go see all these things. I think people need to understand like how free market works.
Yes.
Right? You don't want, then you don't
Algorithm
read.
also lah, because
Yeah.
it feels to I think our readers sometimes like we force the comic in their face because it appears on
Like-
their feed, but that's because their friends share it, you know.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
It's not like we force you to
Yeah.
read the
And
thing.
I guess for you, cause you get a bit of like media coverage, right? Then people will think like, oh, look at all these people like hyping
Queuing
her.
up.
yeah, because they'll put like 10 things you must try at Amoy Street Food
Yeah.
Center. Then it feels like it's a compulsion, right?
But it's not like you go tell people.
yeah, it's not like
You
you.
must try. It's other people
Yeah.
say one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct, exactly.
But I think like to ask the general public to have this level of understanding is maybe asking a lot. And I feel that about people who get angry at us also.
Yeah.
I
feel.
don't think so, leh. Why is he asking a lot?
Because I feel like to have this kind of perspective, you need to be patient enough to understand business. And as a customer, I feel also maybe local culture. And I don't want to be too blatant about it because I'm not local, I'm Malaysian, right? I feel like different countries have different perspectives, right? I feel like Singapore tends to be very customer oriented and people can be very entitled.
Yes.
Whereas, for example, I went to Germany, for example. The people treat me like shit on the service people because they're employee oriented. And what I found is that a lot of European companies like in Germany, they will focus on keeping the employee happy and hence the product is better. And that's fine too. But then on that level, I don't like it. But I mean, it's just a different thing. America, for example, also very customer oriented. So as a result, the customer is very entitled. Lor. So I feel like it's good that we have this thing that we can say it, and I think that will make people understand. But to expect the average person to have this thing, I feel like it will set you up for disappointment if you feel like everybody should have this kind of wisdom, you know?
I think also because most people got like short term. I mean, okay, I
I
think
just
like
want to enjoy now.
they have a limited bunch of things they care about. Like, okay, first of all, I can care about like the 20 closest people to me. But I ask me care about like someone in Somalia, I think very difficult.
No lah.
Okay, but I feel like it's the same way for like issues also. Most people are driven by short-term immediate issues.
Right.
So when they come to our page or like your store, they only care for that like 5 to 10 minutes they are here. Then after that they straight away disengage and do something else.
Yeah.
Correct,
So they
correct.
never ever delve into the deeper part of why like the store is like that.
Why
the,
things are, yeah,
why things
yeah.
the way they are.
Yeah. Do you feel that with other things? Because I honestly sometimes I have to catch myself, you know. Like I would try to enjoy a thing, like I was saying the queue for the nasi lemak. Then I get angry. Then I wait a minute. That's not quite fair. But I have to
Yeah.
really take the effort to
Yeah,
zoom
I do
out.
too.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
it's
I think it's something we can try to keep advocating, and that will make for a better, gracious culture.
maybe
you know?
just more
Right.
kind and more gracious.
Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
not towards. Doesn't have to be my business or it could be just the next person.
I think just in general, like when you see a business problem, you take time to understand why it works that way. Then I feel like you'll be more empathetic already.
Yeah.
I think many people criticize because they'll never be in a position to go start a business.
Correct.
So it's easier to just say fuck them, so inefficient.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
lousy.
It is.
But
That's right.
but they don't understand, ma.
Takes one to know one, yes.
Yeah.
But I think a quality that will be easy to kind of preach and practice is just kindness and graciousness.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Even if you don't know the macro, just be nice to people.
Just be a little bit, yeah.
You don't like, just don't join the queue maybe, or just step out.
Yeah.
But don't need to not
Don't need
worth
to
the hype
put us
and try to
down.
hurt people, no, with
Yeah.
the
To like
review.
write a song and dance about
Yeah,
how bad
yeah.
something is, right?
Yeah,
Speaking of complaints, and other than like entitled customers, what are like a few of your most like biggest complaints about running a hawker business in Singapore?
Dealing with the authorities.
Okay. In what sense?
So for example, Amoy is run by NEA,
Yeah.
so National Environment Agency,
Yep.
and most recently, they've created SFA, the Singapore Food Authority.
Yeah.
So I know this because I'm the hawker chairman here, and I understand these little political changes.
Mm.
So
Hawker chairman, what was it?
so a lot of hawker centers have a hawker chairman, elected hawker chairman.
Oh.
So this hawker chairman will, on behalf of all the hawkers, deal with the authorities, usually the NEA.
Like I see, yeah.
Like a village mayor kind of thing.
Yeah, yes.
So
Something
you
like
are
that.
Amoy Street Food
I
Center.
am Amoy's hawker chairman.
Wow.
Amoy Street Food Center's
Okay.
hawker chairman. Yes.
Can you put it in the intro?
Yeah.
No need
Amoy
lah.
hawker chairman.
I'd rather be known as coffee break.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so in your dealings with the authorities, you were saying, NEA,
So usually I deal
SFA.
direct with the person who's in charge of this hawker center. So NEA will assign, like just now there's a gentleman, he's from SFA. He is assigned to watch over this hawker center.
Oh,
Right,
I
right.
thought you were asking for donations. sorry, SFG.
Walao.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so whatever complaints the hawkers have, I will
Okay.
bring it up to
Right.
NEA, and
Yup.
we will try to mitigate or whatever, try to make the hawker happy as well.
So is it
that's-
usually things like upkeep?
Yes.
Is it like birds and
Yes.
toilet that kind of
yes,
thing lah?
rodent problems, sewage problems, electricity,
Water supply.
cleanliness.
Right.
Yeah, but that has been segregated.
Right.
So NEA deals with the external parts of the hawker center itself.
The
Yeah.
facade. is it?
Yes, the
what you
tables,
see lah.
whatever, the fans. That's NEA's jurisdiction.
yeah.
Then SFA will deal with the store.
Oh, I see.
The store
I see.
owners,
Right,
the
right.
store keepers, and the store itself.
So are there overlapping parts where there's some that tie to each other like,
Yes.
this one them, then this one them?
In Amoy, it's a little bit. There's one more because we deal with MND. This
MND,
building
yes,
belongs
yes.
to MND. This
Oh, the
brown color
building.
facade
Wow.
Right.
is MND. So
Right.
technically,
Oh, there's three.
we are their tenants.
Yes,
They
yes,
are our
yes.
landlords.
Wow.
Yes. So we
so
have
complex.
the Holy Trinity. No, I'm just saying.
Speaking of rent, right? Do you think like rental rates for
Okay. Very good question.
yeah, you made a face. Okay, I just continue. I just continue.
Go ahead.
Yeah, do you think is it fair for? I mean, do you feel like you're paying like a fair price for rental
Yeah.
in this part of town?
They got margin left or not?
You
Yeah.
say free market, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately, even though it's a government agency, NEA still needs to make
Yes.
money somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm young, so maybe I'm a bit more.
Idealistic?
Not idealistic,
Practical?
but practical.
Aware?
Yeah. So, some places they can sell 60 cents coffee.
Yeah.
We've been compared before. Why this coffee 160, but then
Ah,
the
yes.
uncle can sell 60 cents?
Yeah.
Why? Because his rent is lower than mine.
Right.
Okay, and he's in the heartlands,
Mm.
and he's probably first generation, so they actually enjoy a subsidized rate. And being in the heartlands, usually the rent is a lot lower. I'd say at least one third
Wow.
of what, maybe even more than one third of what we pay.
Mm.
In this row alone, there are 4 different kinds of rental tiers.
Yeah.
Okay, so you cannot judge our product price just because the same product has 2 different prices. It doesn't work like that. The uncle can give you 60 cents because his costs are low.
Mm.
My costs are high.
Right.
And I turn over high. So I can charge more. And also because I need to
It's a
cover
different meta
overheads.
lah, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
So I say it's fair because if you are a new hawker, you bid for a stall. Highest bidder wins. Very
Yeah.
natural at an auction. How bad you want it, you bid high lor. And if you're desperate, you'll make the business work. If you're not desperate, you bid low, you don't get
But
it
that's
fair
that's
what?
all it is. It's just price. They don't look at track record and
No, no,
quality.
no.
Or just pure price lah.
Yes, if you're a new if you're a new entrant,
New
Oh,
entrant.
new, I
got
see, I
Nothing
see.
else to
yeah,
look
nothing
at,
else
right?
to care. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I guess if it's expensive, you can also go bid in the heartland.
correct.
It'll be cheaper.
Right.
Correct. So NEA releases a list of available stores for bidding, and you can just go and apply and send in your bid. And then at the end of the month, they will release the winner of the bids.
So high hawker rental rates, also because of the result, because we're in the CBD here.
Yes.
Because I was looking at Commercial Guru
Yes.
just now earlier on to see like normal private one, how much
Yes.
it will be. It's like,
Yes.
I think one is like 31K for like a whole cafe.
The whole cafe is in the whole space.
Yeah, the
The
whole
first
space.
floor.
Not even a store in that space.
It's bigger. No,
Right.
so I mean, store will be cheaper, but they
Yeah.
do not have individual stores for rent.
Okay, so that's 31K.
Yeah.
But is that a lot? Is that very little?
I think
I don't know.
I think it's a lot, lah.
It's a lot.
But
lah.
I think
It's the market here.
yeah, it's the private market.
Right.
But then within Amoy, it's like HDB.
Okay.
So things are subsidized compared to the market rate there, but it can still
It
be
still has to
expensive.
be higher than the heartlands lah, because
Yeah.
I mean like you say, the government, even as government, they have to be sustainable and reflect the ebb and flow of market lah.
Correct.
Okay, but I think there's a lot of people online who also say like high rents are killing hawkers. Like how true do you think this statement is?
I think high rent, you must understand how it works first. If you are a new hawker, you pay the high, let's say you really want this store and you bid for like 3,500, your rent alone, So you have to pay 3,500 a month for 3 years. That is the NEA contract.
Yeah.
So for 3 years, you pay every month.
Okay.
You are a new hawker, you must understand. Nobody knows who you are. They don't know whether your food nice or not. So some people will be very cautious.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't break even or gain a following even after 3 years.
Wow.
So which
Yeah.
means you just do the math lah. 3,500 times 36 months leh. You have to
Tank like.
tahan.
Yeah. That's a
Losses.
lot of money to be able to put aside.
And that's why a lot of new hawkers, they do it themselves. Because they don't need to start paying for another staff.
Oh, I see.
And that is why you see a lot of family businesses, they drive Mercedes because they pay their family members minimal. And then they do a lot of work because it's family ma, so they chunk for each other ma. Then of course maybe like they got other benefits lah, you know. But
Well, I don't understand how that results in a Mercedes.
In
What
what?
do you mean? Because they don't have to pay
they don't have
competitive
to.
rates for the labor lah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Then they all can like give bigger bonuses
Yeah,
or whatnot. I don't know lah. I don't.
Because
we
I've heard
don't-
these things, these two like
These two like opposing
Yes,
narratives of
exactly.
hawkers. One is like you don't look at hawker, he drive Mercedes. Then the other one is look at the hawker, they're so poor.
The high rents are killing
high
them,
rents are killing them.
right?
So
The ones who
Yeah.
drive Mercedes are first generation hawkers. Those with the damn long queues. one.
established already lah, right?
Yes, established already. Those are the ones that drive Mercedes.
First generation.
First
as in,
generation.
why-
Move
why-
from
why-
the streets. We call them first generation.
Wow.
So clean up
Oh.
in the 1970s. They moved
Uh-huh.
from the streets to hawker centers.
Oh, I see.
Those are first generation.
Last time like Penang like that.
Right,
They sell
I
char
thought
kway teow
first-
on the street. What really?
I thought first gen means first
Oh, yeah.
time here.
Oh, no.
Right, first gen means like old.
From
like,
the streets.
Established.
LKY time.
Yeah.
People wear shorts
I see.
time.
1970s time.
I see.
When the whole movement of hawkers started.
So what I'm also hearing is that high rent is a thing and it hurts, but in the market forces it makes sense because you can charge higher turnover. But what you seem to not so much appreciate is the idea that people complain and compare across Heartland and CBD rates and
Yes.
go, ayo, why like that?
Yes.
But without understanding the
Yes.
underlying market forces, right?
Yes.
Right.
Sometimes the media also perpetuates these.
Yes.
Yeah. So
In various, I think, degrees of
Accuracy.
aggressiveness and because they might say like, oh, this uncle has not raised rates in 60 years
Yeah.
or something,
you don't
but
need
they
to.
don't go deeper into why.
Yes.
So even though you don't say it, by highlighting this example of an uncle seemingly absorbing inflation, you are not it's almost like then don't go to other people, go to this one because he absorbed for you, but it's also where.
I think there's also merit in saying like sometimes for some certain F&B operators, right, they actually own the property that
Yes.
in.
Ampang
So-
Liang Tofu that kind.
Hey, don't name names, yeah.
Okay, I'll
McDonald's,
bleep-
McDonald's.
Ah, right.
So they got
It's a
no
real estate
rent.
company.
So they got no rent. So they already break even long ago already. Like your grandfather time break even already.
Yeah,
They may not
correct.
grandfather time, but then
Correct.
like so they can charge low.
I
also.
love this. It's like an anomaly where you see like they don't use the space efficiently. Right? It'll be like
Correct.
like
Oh
10
God.
tables very sparsely. Like Malaysia, like they just pa.
Yeah.
Then they're at the back just doing their own thing,
Yeah,
you know.
they customer wine, they don't greet you.
Yes,
They
yes, yes.
Sit down and you order yourself.
So this is like your first gen.
Actually, it's kind of like hotel business. You know, hotel business make money not because of the accommodation or stuff you
Right.
pay. It's
Sale.
because the property rise in value.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so in a way,
yeah.
that's a matter also.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I completely understand when they do say like high rents are killing hawkers. Also because there's a culture of not paying a lot for hawker food
Yes,
also.
yes.
They get squeezed both ways. One is like rent is already highish already. Then after that, like people don't want to pay some more. Like what are your thoughts on?
No, that's
about
the
that?
next question I want to ask. Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
I tag on to that
Okay,
a bit.
yes.
I think the idea of what a hawker means, right? By definition, right, there's an expectation of cheap and good.
Good.
So what are your thoughts on that? Like, is
I
this
know-
connotation correct, wrong? How do
I
you balance
agree.
it?
I myself, if I go down to a hawker center, I expect the food to be cheap and good. But here's the caveat:
Yep.
cheap is subjective.
Yeah. It's where. Is
It's
it?
where
Yeah.
and whether you
Yeah.
accept it.
Yep.
Some people come and tell me, the younger office crowd,
Yeah.
160 very reasonable. You know, sometimes this chain sells for $2.40 and the cup smaller than you, the younger generation.
You ask auntie uncle pay this kind.
哈？
哇
1.6，狗标狗松哎，没有糖没有奶哎，后面卖1块而已，为什么你卖1.6？
That's right.
I think it also reflects like inequality in Singapore. Some people can find it affordable, some people can find it not. And also,
Right.
like when equality used to be less in Singapore, like smaller, like everyone will agree, okay, 80 cents is a reasonable price.
Yes.
But now that some groups are, the fortunes have not done so
Yes,
well, other
that's
group
right,
like
that's right,
have done
that's right.
amazingly.
Yeah.
Like
So
things,
it's very jarring lah. When I go to supposedly the same theme, which is hawker,
yeah.
just because I'm in CBD or town, like the rates are so high, it's like, I can't even afford hawker food now. No, you can afford maybe heartland hawker food. So it's like, even within this hawker class, there's a separation
Yeah, I'm
or
thinking
segregation.
when you say cheap is subjective, I'm guessing you're compared to like a private establishment outside of this.
It could
Hawker
be,
center.
it could be, or it could just be my competitors behind me. Yeah.
Like we talk about this all the time. Everybody will say, everybody in the street in Singapore will agree that we must keep hawker culture alive.
You must.
We will agree until the high heavens, but
Yes.
sometimes I think like it may take us as the consumer to be willing to pay more actually.
Yes.
And we always expect, I don't know why it seems to be this expectation that hawker culture, for it to stay alive, it must remain affordable, and affordable to them is not. Don't rise with inflation. Right?
think
Everything
maybe-
else rise with inflation, hawker cannot rise with
Maybe
inflation.
you use
right?
like the 1990 matrix of affordability.
Yeah.
Like-
But it's not absolute price, right? It should be also scaling with your income, which also scales.
Yeah. Okay, the problem now is income in Singapore. Last time everyone like that moved together.
Yeah.
now
Now
it's-
one is one group go like that, then the other group
inequality.
sometimes like that or go a bit
Sometimes go
only. You know what I
stun.
mean?
Yeah, that goes down,
So I think it's hard lah.
Yeah.
It's a very tough conversation to have.
yeah. Because if you ask me personally, I mean like if it's good chicken rice, $8 I'm okay there. Like if you warrant the thing, or like you know
You
like
see he roll his eyes.
Oh, really,
$8
ah?
chicken
No,
rice.
no. I'm saying
no, I mean like
I roll because right. I know this is a controversial statement that my
okay,
commenters
okay.
will pick up on.
you're not personally rolling. He's anticipating angry comment.
Oh.
But that's just me personally lah. So you know you don't pay lah, right?
I mean, if you pay $24 for eggs Benedict or whatever, fuck shit.
Yeah, why not, right?
Then okay, what?
And there are also very interesting hawker concepts like here is the noodle story.
Downstairs.
It's so amazing, like, and I don't know if the store is here. So there's a store that sells this donburi thing, and it only sells donburi, only one bowl, like $10. That's the flat price. You only buy that one thing. I don't think it's here, like somewhere else.
Yeah, I think not here.
But it's a very interesting concept set in a hawker thing that people queue up like damn long to buy. But it's a $10 price tag, which is not something you typically pay for like your cai fan or your chicken rice, you know.
If you think about it, maybe to you now it sounds interesting, but actually it will become history tomorrow.
That's right.
Oh my god, okay, I had this question. Like if we go on in my phone lah, that's why I reach my pocket. Like
Right.
if we go down in 20 years time, right, and this trend continues, Singapore's no longer, continue to not want to pay more for hawker food. What do you think that the landscape will look like?
The odds of hawker culture surviving, is it?
I say my opinion first. Actually, I think it will survive, but a lot less people were doing it. Then the people who do it like charge like
Very high.
damn high on, like $36 char kway teow.
And so be it.
Yeah, because the market had decided this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not decided by one person. It's decided by many factors and many players. So if we all collectively decide, we're just going to let a select few hawkers survive, and that's
Yeah.
all there is to this culture, then
Yeah, that's what it
then
is.
you gotta pay for it lah. Supply, demand exceeds supply. So,
Right.
but that is a product of your own actions, your own
Right.
decisions. It's a
Yeah.
consequence.
Yeah,
So
and
be
it's
it.
actions. It's not opinions. That's why I
Yeah.
say like hawker. You ask everybody now, should hawker culture survive? Yes, but are you willing to pay for it with your wallet? Not necessarily. And maybe that's not the solution. Like just now you roll your eyes to think. There are many forces at play. There is the hawkers themselves. There is the buyers. Then there's also the authorities. Right, it can come from
Yeah.
a lot of places lah.
I've also seen this narrative online, which I disagree with. It's kind of saying like, if hawker price increase, then how will poor people afford meals? But in my opinion, it's like, why should these people trying to run business be responsible for providing for the poor? Because
I need to be sustainable.
business
as
is
a
business, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if anything, the poor is the government's problem to solve. It is not hawkers' problem to solve. I mean, that's my perspective. Like, what's your take on that?
I think I quite agree with you with what you said. I'm not sure if it's entirely the government's problem. It's a topic I'm not very familiar
Yeah,
with.
Sure.
Fair.
But we do, as a hawker, maybe myself, I do try to accommodate to people who may not be able to afford it lah. Try to keep prices low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't raised our prices since 2018, and we probably
Pre-COVID,
won't.
yeah.
I think try versus like making it mandatory is like different thing, right?
Yeah.
Of course, you will try your
Correct.
best to be like a
Correct.
decent person
Correct.
and help out whenever possible. But it
Correct.
should not be.
It should not-
shouldn't be forced upon you.
Obligated.
This
Yeah,
social
it shouldn't
responsibility.
Be, yeah, it
Absolutely.
is a social responsibility, and it's social because hawkers are not the only people in the society. What?
Yeah,
Are
exactly.
you not social? Are you?
Yeah, that's right. I'm part of
Hey, he's
society.
social. He's part of society.
I'm a social worker.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
So, I think too much has been covered about hawkers needing to do this. We should flip the role.
We all have a part
We
to
all
play.
have a part to play. It can be as simple as buying from your
Local.
don't buy
Yeah.
Starbucks. Buy mine.
Yeah.
You know, one
Yeah.
drink will pay so many things.
Yeah, that's right.
Starbucks is a conglomerate. I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Yeah.
Don't buy McDonald's. Eat the Uncle Hainanese Western food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, both are healthy
Support
anyway.
local.
No, I'm kidding. I get it.
Both are French fries and burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both are crab burgers.
So on the note of like, it was an interesting note. Like we were just saying this morning, we talking about tradition. Traditions start from somewhere. At one point, like traditions were innovations,
Yes.
right? So
Correct.
I see that y'all got so many like interesting flavors and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So first question I want to ask is more like, when you do these things, does your dad say anything about it?
He loves it.
Oh, he loves it?
He was the one who egged us on.
Wow.
To
He was
try
the
like
one-
black sesame and matcha and all this.
He
No, it's
wasn't
not
that
matcha.
adventurous lah, but he was the
Caramel
one.
hazelnut.
Yeah, he was the one who was
pumpkin
like, no, you need to set the trend. You need to learn to be different. You need to set yourself apart from your competitors.
Wow.
Oh shit! I had a
Yeah.
question also. Cause I had what is your USP?
What's
Unique
my
selling
what?
point.
A unique selling point.
Yeah.
Our,
Unique selling. I mean the different flavors lah, right?
I think
think
our
that's
young
one, yeah.
staff leh.
Oh, young stuff.
Yeah.
A whole group of them behind a hawker store.
Yeah,
you
it
look in,
is
you see
quite-
all young people.
It is quite amazing to see.
So that is one big unique selling point. And
Yeah.
of course our narrative, I think.
That's right.
And in the end, it all boils down to the quality of the product lor. They
Yeah.
see that and they'll be like, okay, I will try it. And then you need to prove it with your product lah.
I think that's great because like you also have a sort of I feel like there's a respect for tradition also. I mean like since 1935.
Yeah.
Then like you have to balance that with also like how do you keep the best parts of the old that people still want, but then also like push to introduce new flavors and concepts.
The thing that will define your success is that you have a very strong product foundation. And for us, is our traditional kopi. And using that, we're able to kind of springboard into all the different flavors.
So it's not like you left it completely. You are using it as an
Correct.
extension
Yes.
to try.
And it
right?
forms the very basis of our
Everything.
business. It could be our vision, our mission in our products as well.
It's like you got hard skill, I mean, soft skill important. Ultimately, hard skill is still
Yes.
still the core of it.
Correct.
But you use
Correct.
soft skill to amplify that,
Correct.
and that's like your marketing, like the narrative. that
R&D, you know,
sell.
trying
Correct.
new things, trying
And I
new
think
flavors.
it's the same for every profession, every other
Absolutely.
business.
Or money making activity.
Yeah.
You're creative,
Yeah.
you use that,
Yes,
and then
yes.
you do something else.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
So maybe like last few questions lah, like just to conclude. You can add also if you have some more to.
Oh, I look at my phone. Okay, you say first.
Yeah. So like you all have like a bit of an e-commerce thing. Like you have this. If you go on their website, they have like
E-commerce.
they sell the beans. You know, like which you get from Indonesia, right?
Yes.
Then it's done in a traditional way.
Yes,
Is it?
yes.
Like so. Is that something that you are going into? Like, is that something you all hope to expand big time?
You probably hear this a lot, but really
Yeah.
because of COVID-19, we had to quickly diversify and learn that a brick and mortar
COVID,
shop
that's why. Yes.
is not the way to go,
Right.
especially in a saturated business environment such
Yeah.
as Singapore.
The costs are high. Yeah.
Correct.
costs are very high,
so we needed to be able to earn more doing less and not
Yes.
being dependent on just having people come to the store.
Yes.
Because clearly circuit breaker did not allow that.
Yes.
And so yes, we just nice when circuit breaker started, our e-shop was already going live. So we just kind of accelerated that law.
Right.
And then with delivery and then corporate events, and
I think that's great because like there's a big coffee culture thing, especially like I'm on YouTube a lot lah. Then like I don't even care much about it, but I just like watching people make coffee. But I don't see so much of that nylon sock method, you know, that old
Yeah,
way of making
yeah,
coffee. It's
correct.
more of those like French press or Vietnamese drip coffee that kind. So I feel like there's a space for it content wise, you know. Like I
Correct.
would love to see maybe you all try that. So if I buy your beans for example, like, then what do I do with it? Like who is buying these beans and do they do at home or like what?
so like content creation is something we also don't really. It's something that we're looking to do, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not our core business.
Yeah, I'm not saying you must do lah.
But-
I'm just saying there's a gap lah. I
Yeah,
think.
so that
Maybe
gap
someone can do
can
it.
be filled.
Yeah.
Maybe not by us, but because there is a third wave specialty coffee culture that swept through here. So
Third
it-
wave specialty coffee.
Yes, so it
Wow.
was a very good opportunity for us to kind of hop on that wave because people will buy the coffee and they already know how to brew it using a French press.
Yes.
So then they will use those.
Also, you can
methods.
use that across the different method.
Yes,
lah.
yes.
Also
So that
cool.
bridging the local kopi, Nanyang kopi, and with the specialty coffee is something that I think still very unheard of.
Yes.
But people like to discover for themselves.
Wow, that would be so cool to watch, like in a content kind of way. I would love that.
I have
just see it
I had the feels.
therapeutically,
I had the
you know.
feels when you said Nanyang coffee. Then I was like, oh yeah,
Why?
I forgot like the taste that come to Singapore is like very unique from what was
Somalia.
originally in China.
Yes, that's right.
It's a very strong local coffee drinking culture that we have, and that is something that we kind of made use of.
Right.
And that's what Starbucks and all your coffee chains made use of as well.
Right.
And all your local chains as well. And it's something that we can make use of, lor. It's
Yeah.
opportunity. Yeah.
So last question from me, then maybe if you have stuff you can add on, right? What is like, you all are opening other branches and stuff, and from what I can see from the photo, it looks like slightly different, because it's not hawker, like there's this thing that you have your own table and chair kind of thing.
That was
This is the Science Park
before,
one.
Yeah, the Science Park one.
So what is, like, you all are opening other branches, and what is that like? Is it
We actually closed it down just before
the Science Park one?
that
Like?
was very successful.
Ah,
We were very well received in that area.
right.
Pharmaceuticals, school.
yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, because of COVID, because of work from home.
Damn it, COVID, yeah.
Yeah. So we had to shut that down.
But then would it be still viable now as a?
Yeah.
So that size, yes. We had a big one in GSH Plaza. Now it's called Plus behind Republic Plaza. Yeah, that wasn't such a great concept because we tried to introduce food, and I think clearly
okay.
people knew that was not something we did well.
Right.
So people came for the coffee, but then it wasn't enough to pay the rent.
I see.
Yes. So our concept now is really just for hawker centers, small kiosks, takeaway.
That's great.
That's why 咖啡快做嘛. You faster drink, take a break, and then you just go
Faster. Ah, right.
快做. Quickly
Faster,
sit and go.
quickly sit, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
that was the
right.
essence of what my dad wanted.
Right.
This is the original signboard.
Yeah, original signboard. This is original signboard.
Oh, look at the F. It's a very special font, like. You know, the way that the indentation.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
cannot find this.
Yeah, I've never seen that font, you know. It's quite unique, yeah.
20 over years, 23 years.
Wow, okay.
Okay, that's all from me. Do you have any
I mean,
additional
I have questions, but like they don't fit anywhere.
Just
No,
just
just
ask.
write
Let's
lah.
see what we can.
So I guess like, what is like the minimum amount of kopi you have to charge to be
It's so mathematical. I love it.
sustainable, or at least like not just kopi but also for other popular dishes. Like how much you have to charge for hawkers to survive long term?
What's the sweet spot, lah?
Yeah. What do you think is a margin that will make this industry viable for young people to?
I think for a lot of businesses, a 30 to 40% profit margin is sustainable.
Yeah.
So you want to aim for 30 to 40%. I'll put it in very simple terms lah. Over here, where we have 5 star, I leave the math to you. You go and your listeners can go and do the
Okay.
math.
Yeah,
lah,
they're very good at this
Do the
stuff, lah.
math.
So we have 5 star. Average salary is about 2,300 per star. Say 5 lah. Every day, Monday to Friday
Yep.
So we go monthly lah. My coffee average price is $3.50. Average, okay? And I sell about, over here, very lucky, is about 1,000 cups a day. Over a span of 7 hours only.
Right.
Okay? So I give you the numbers, you go and do the math.
Okay,
Am
good.
I profitable
7
or not?
hours of operation, or do you need to do prep?
7
before
hours of sale.
sale?
Prep
right,
is
right.
about 1 hour.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
The salaries don't count because they go by month, right?
Right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
2003,
I
5
think got
staff.
rent also. Yeah.
Huh?
Rent also.
And then you think about rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you think about your overheads, your cost of goods.
Cereals, yeah.
Yes. Maybe it comes out to about 6,000 for me, and I'm on the higher quality side.
Yeah.
That's for me.
Right.
If you say for maybe my competitor behind, who has also been in the business as long as I have, if not longer, also second generation,
Yep.
his overheads and cost of goods will be much lower than mine. Why? Because firstly, his rent is considered first generation. He's from the streets.
Oh.
Secondly, there's only 2 of them, his mom and him.
Right. And
Okay.
it's his mom.
Yes. Third, he sells toast and eggs. Food profit margin always higher. Always
is it?
higher. Yes.
Why now sell food and eggs?
I
They
have
got
more than
the
enough to handle
sandwich,
already. I got
yeah.
toast lah, but I don't serve eggs
toast,
lah.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just find it funny that from the streets give you some credit. They can get
Street
low,
cred.
low rent from the government.
Sounds like it. Maybe sounds like it. Yeah. Maybe that's why.
I was from the streets, yo.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
So his model and my model are very, very
Different,
different. Even
yeah,
though we are in the
different.
same hawker center, we
That's
sell
right.
very similar things.
Almost very near to each other also. Yeah,
Yes.
that's amazing.
It's so cool that even among like all the different hawkers, there's so much variance in business
Yeah,
model.
strategy.
Correct.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have how many yu tangs here leh? And there's a very famous one behind.
Right.
Then a second famous one.
All doing different model.
1,
One.
2, 3, 4. There's 4 yu tangs on this floor alone. This one's new.
Wow.
Barely a month and a half old.
Damn.
Their business model is different. He's
Right.
still open, The other 2 closed already, and they open even shorter hours.
I
Why?
see. Right.
This is just food for thought. It's very easy to work out if
Yes,
you
yes.
just bother.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be sustainable, choose the model. Do you want to just make a living, or do you want to earn a little bit more and expand the business?
Yeah.
That's right.
And I think for most people our generation, they don't want to just make a living.
Yeah.
Or because it's impossible to just stagnate. Because everywhere else in Singapore is rising, right?
Yeah.
And you stagnate actually, in relative terms, is you fall behind.
Correct.
That's why I feel like culturally, like it feels like it might appeal to more young people if you do it as a concept thing. Like I want to bring to life some idea that I have about how to do fish noodles or donburi or something in a hawker way.
Yeah.
Then that one I will die for because there's meaning in that. You know,
Yes.
it's not just a repetitive task.
Our generation is like
Yeah.
that. We need
Yeah.
more than just the product. We
That's
need
right.
a narrative behind it.
That's right.
And we are lucky to have a very long history lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that people want to hear
You
what
have
we
a
do.
narrative already
Yes.
built in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was listening to, and I keep raving about this book, Terry Cruz's autobiography,
Oh.
where he talked about his grandma who worked in, I think it was Flint, Michigan, very hardcore factory town, and the way he described it was so dire and depressing to me, but to her it was a good job. He said, She worked in a car factory. She put the same nut on the same bolt every single day for 40 years. And she retired off it. She got a house, she got a car. That was a good life and a good job. You ask a current gen like us to do that, we'll be like, wow, what is this like menial thing, you know? So our expectations have changed so much that I feel like maybe then, like, if we want to advocate for more young people to do hawker, like, maybe that's the approach, you know, you try innovation.
Expectation didn't just change, also change because technology changed.
That's right.
Like all these put the
all automated already.
all automated already.
That's true, that's true, yeah.
Then like I think for hawkers, like whatever the work permit person can do, and you do that, then you will get work permit salary. Like it's not anyone's fault. It's not the work permit person's fault. It's not your fault. It's just what people are willing to pay for.
Yeah.
But I think it's also, there's something nice about it also. I think that even though some of it is negative, like a lot of locals are very passionate about hawker culture to the point that they feel like it's worth defending, at least when they say, you know. So it's still something cool. There's some passion that is already intrinsically in it still, I think. As an outsider from Malaysia, I see that very clearly, you know. Something wonderful about that also amidst all this. But it's good to really, I just love having the opportunity to talk to you because you were able to peel back all this stuff about not just profit, you know, sustainability. How do you do this over a long term and make sure that the people that you hire have progression, all this stuff?
I think passion is one thing. I mean, I'm sure putting a nut on the same screw
I can't wait
every day
every
for
day
40
for
years,
40 years,
is maybe in the beginning you thought it was redundant and mundane, but over the years you realize what kind of contribution it is to the bigger picture.
Right.
So it's the same for us here. Every day in, day out, we do the same thing. We pour the same amount of coffee, we pour the same amount of water, pour the same amount of sugar.
Yeah.
I take the same order. Oh, kopi 10 块6块6块8 冷的2块1. It's all the same. But why am I still keeping at it?
Yes.
One, I get money. It may not be a lot to get by, but I'm alive, I pay bills. Two, I enjoy it. So the job satisfaction is actually something that you need to go and find for yourself. I enjoy the interaction.
I love that, yeah.
I enjoy being able to remember my customers' orders.
Right.
I enjoy knowing that once they get their cup of coffee, they go into the office, turn on the computer, wait for the computer to load, check their email, and then they can drink coffee. They feel good. They reply the email with maybe a little bit more gusto. I don't know. And
it's
that
not
helps
just
the economy.
it's not just the chemical of the coffee. I feel like these rituals that we have every day, that we frame around the uncertainties, like am I gonna get an email to the angry email or this?
Yeah.
The coffee, the daily coffee,
It's
daily
something-
cinnamon, whatever is your thing, can be so comforting.
Yes.
Sorry, I said cinnamon because my wife got one yesterday.
Sure.
Random.
Sure.
But I love what you said. Actually, I don't think it's that common to hear from young people here, because you are saying that there is a sort of deep meaning in the repetitive daily thing, and it's almost like what I'm hearing is that it's like in service of greater society.
Yeah.
It's something that I was raving about to him a lot because we just both came back from Japan. And one thing I noticed that really got me thinking was we were on the train, right? Then every single train attendant, right, when they are exiting the carriage, they open the carriage door, they turn around, they bow.
Wow.
Even if nobody cares, nobody even cares, everybody doing their own thing, eating food or whatever, they still bow. And it hit me that it's like, you know, in the West, we get this thing where you want to be the main character, you want to be the star,
Yes.
right? And then I've always been very like that, I want to be the hero. But actually, there's also something so almost cosmically
It's beautiful, yeah.
beautiful about I'm a small cog in this machine.
Yes.
I'm indispensable, but probably unnoticeable. But because of me, the train runs beautifully and it's clean. People can enjoy and have that certainty, and you have that too. I love hearing that put into words in something so local.
You don't do it. I think I said it before. It's really, if you get past yourself, get past trying to be the main character.
Get over
maybe
yourself.
you
Yes.
can be someone else. You can help someone else be the main character, and it's not just one person. It's a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And if you stop thinking about yourself, you think for the community. It's actually much easier to get out for work. It's like, actually, if I don't go, nobody will notice, right? You know, if I don't turn up for work. But if you think about it, you don't go, your colleagues will suffer because they have to take your workload.
That's right.
Then you cannot do that. If you have morals and some discipline,
Some consideration for other people.
If you are not here, somebody at the CBD go to office, open the email, they'll feel a bit miserable. I don't have my thing here, it's missing.
Correct.
They'll grab
Correct.
for it, oh yeah, don't have today.
Correct.
You know.
So, I mean, it's selfish
That's great.
to just do it for yourself.
That's great.
So many people depend on us.
Yeah.
And
There's a great Netflix. I'm going off topic, but I think it's relevant.
Just say,
Like
we always
say.
come back
it's,
to
it's called
Netflix.
Makanai, like Secrets of the Makanai, and basically the
Oh,
story,
the
Geisha.
geisha one.
Yeah,
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I think that's phenomenal because basically the story, like, I won't spoil it, but the story is like two girls go off to become geishas, but one of them actually is very bad. She's a horrible geisha, but she loves to cook. But then just nice at that geisha, a spot opens up and it's a makanai role. Makanai is somebody that prepares the food for the geisha, so she becomes almost relegated to the chef of them. So it's like that she's serving her
It
peers.
looks
Yeah, but she is the most amazing
happy
character,
and, you know.
she is. To me, I get like almost spiritual or religious feeling. It feels like she's God, because she solves problems with food.
Yeah,
Right?
yes.
People feel like crap, right? But the comfort and the warmth
Yeah.
of having her there every day preparing whatever the hell you need for that day, right? Is such a deep-rooted satisfaction thing that it resonates with what you described here. And I just, it's the first time I honestly heard it in a Singaporean context that a young person said.
I think like
I love
if
it.
more of us embrace this, then maybe we can also start like giving blue collar workers kind of like
The dignity
yeah,
back,
the
which they
dignity
deserve.
That they deserve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, well, it sounds very government, but like I mean, we always focus on white collar. Then like Lawrence Wong said about like some hard work sort of thing, which I hate the term, by the way. But I do think like credit to blue collar workers is kind of overdue in this country.
Yes.
I think Dr. Tony Tan or someone else. Yeah, I think he addressed this before. I think it was for the migrant workers.
Tommy
Right.
Cole, is it?
Is Tommy
Tommy
Cole?
Cole,
I
Tommy
think
Cole.
so. Tony
Dr.
Tan is
Tan is
like
the
a Tommy
president,
Cole.
sorry.
yeah.
Sounds like a Tommy
Cole.
Cole thing. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's due time, yeah.
and I think it's good. And in a society where we have increasing education, we should have increasing empathy.
For sure, empathy. Yes.
Graciousness, yeah.
graciousness,
Absolutely.
and which comes back to our first.
yeah,
First talking
kindness.
point.
Right?
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
So maybe stop thinking about you. We're very reliant on
Get over yourself.
getting
right.
it, like taking it
Ah.
from the government.
Give me the
Getting
thing.
handouts.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm entitled, but
Maximize the grants.
yeah.
Min-max everything, optimize everything, right? Yeah, just be nice
I don't know, just-
first.
yeah. Don't be so dependent lah. Other people depend on you.
Be less competitive.
You can be competitive, but don't
The
hurt
government won't
others
like
in
that
the
message.
beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like I must win you. I'm like, for example, like my neighbor rent higher than me, so I must rent higher.
Right,
Then
right.
they sell higher, rent higher,
Yeah.
then the price will go up.
Jaga your own business. Yeah, it's not also like I also don't quite like just blind optimism and hope. You must
Yeah.
jaga the business.
religion.
Like you know your margins, right?
Oh, no.
Wait, what happened?
She said like religion.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
It did not.
She said really,
I mean-
really.
relish.
Yeah, so I think like what you're saying is like know your sums, understand your margin, keep your business afloat, and to do that you need to understand market forces. But to then compete, there's also unhealthy competition where you're comparing with something that maybe not even your tai chi. Like my
Yeah.
noodle store strategy different from their noodle store.
Correct.
So even if they get long queue maybe not my strategy, not my game. I can survive, I meet my goal can already, right?
Yeah. People like to like, hey, you know your neighbor, they doing this.
then you go and do that one
okay,
lah.
good, good for them. Yeah, that's the only response I can give you.
Right.
So
Any more questions, Rui?
No, I'm good.
Right, thank you so much, Faye. I love this session. It was so great.
Thanks.
If you have more questions, can put down in the comments. Maybe we can do a follow-up also. If there's more.
Oh, you just come to the store.
come to the store,
and
talk to
buy
her.
coffee and ask me.
Their service damn good one.
Yeah.
This was not sponsored content.
Not sponsored at
Yeah.
all by either party.
Yeah.
We just come in. and
But this is
chat.
at Amoy Street Food Center.
You wanna plug
on
your
the
thing?
second floor. You plug. What am I
My
plugging? You plug.
Instagram,
Ah.
Coffee Break at Amoy. Yeah. Facebook, Coffee Break at Amoy Street. Just come to the store lah. You want to support, just buy. Can be buy from me, buy from someone else, doesn't matter. As long as you come and buy something from a hawker. Yeah. That's all the difference it makes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Right. So thank you everybody for watching. Just engage us in the comments. Come down to the store, right, and let us know what you think. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.